Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's time for some weekend action at the Fraction here on the SDH Network. Atlanta United 2, fresh off of their win last time out against Orlando City B, coming in with a record of 1-2-1 in the East, 9th place overall. They are 5th place in the Central Division with that 4 points that they have scored so far. Visiting tonight, Chicago Fire 2, coming in with a record of 2 wins, 2 losses, currently 6th in the East, 2 spots above them in the Central Division with a record of 2-2 in the overall. 6 points in their first 4 matches. Welcome to match day 5 here on the SDH Network. What we will do is we will get you set up for tonight. We'll go over starting lineups, let you take a peek at what happened last time that these two teams were playing in MLS Next Pro, set you up for the evening in Major League Soccer, as this is the only match going on in MLS Next Pro, and we will get you ready for the full 90 minutes here from Kennesaw. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so. Once again, Jon Nelson here, and what we'll do is we'll take you back and let you know how Chicago Fire had a game slip out of their hands last time out. It was a matchup in Bridgeview against Philadelphia Union 2. Misael Rodriguez gave them a lead out of the blocks in the 13th minute.
That's what the organization is about. It's the way they like to play. And now here's the pressing. It's won here by Rodriguez. Can he finish? Oh, you bet he can. It's a brilliant goal. Misael Rodriguez picks the pocket of Philadelphia Union 2 and finishes brilliantly to give the hosts the lead. Backline becomes very exposed very quickly, and it's a very calm, composed finish from Rodriguez.
Highlights courtesy of our friends at MLS Next Pro and MLSNextPro.com. So the 1-0 lead for Chicago Fire 2 stood until the 71st minute. Philadelphia Union 2 getting on the board. It was Brandon Craig.
And potentially set up a comeback opportunity on the road. It's Brandon Craig, and he scores. A very convincing penalty from Brandon Craig, and Philadelphia Union 2 are level. It's 1 each. They've certainly deserved their equalizing goal. We see persistence pay off on enemy territory. You're not going to see a much better penalty than that.
Winner for the final 20 minutes. It would come 10 minutes later for the visitors. David Vasquez with the goal.
Lovely. Continues his run. Gets past 2 defenders. Anthony Sorensen finds Pierre. Stojanovic is in the middle. So is Vasquez! He scores! David Vasquez applies the finishing touch for Philadelphia Union 2. They're 2-1 up. Sorensen started it. Pierre facilitates it.
So Philadelphia Union 2 would get the win and full points, their first win of the season after starting out of the blocks with 3 straight losses, moving them up to 5th in the Northeast Division in the overall heading into this weekend. Now to the home side and the flip side for Atlanta United 2. The homestand continued. Orlando City B coming to town, and from the spot early on, Atlanta United 2 got on the board first.
6-yard run up. Otero in goal. Eric Lopez. Goal, goal, goal. Lopez. Otero tried to drag the feet and got a touch, but he couldn't keep it out. Atlanta United 2 takes the lead on Orlando City B 1-0.
Our number one star of the night would eventually end up being Nick Firmino, coming in for an injured Johnny Viall. More on that coming up in just a little bit. 1-0 at the break, turned into 2-0 in the 47th minute. Firmino with his first of the night.
Tuamasi clears it up into the sky. Lopez goes Shaolin soccer to regain possession. Firmino spins, drives forward. Nicholas Firmino has an option on the left. Firmino might not need it. Goal! 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 Atlanta United 2. Nicholas Firmino. Might not be the prettiest, but Nicholas Firmino scrambles that one into the back of the net. Had Tyler Wolff on the left, said, nah, I got this. Dribbles through traffic, gets past Pereira, and Firmino makes it 2-0 Atlanta.
Jason calling Nick Firmino goals would not stop there. 9 minutes later, Firmino gets a brace to give the third on the goal for the Twos.
Firmino can't find the teammate. Fortune cleans it up. Orlando will take another throw. Ian Garrett is the other substitution, a 27-year-old from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Here comes Atlanta into the 18. Shot! Goal, goal, goal! Atlanta United 2. Second of the night, Nicholas Firmino. $3-0 Atlanta. That was an Orlando throw that is quickly turned over, and Firmino from the top of the 18 beats Pereira. Second goal of the night for Nick Firmino, third of the year, third of the night for Atlanta.
The clean sheet would be ruined at 90+1. Christopher Acuna from the spot gets the goal for Orlando City B, but Atlanta United 2 gets full points with the final of 3-1. So Atlanta United has ticked off all the boxes. A win on the board at home here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Let's go over our starting lineups. And for this, we'll bring in Jason Longshore after we read our availability report presented by our friends at Piedmont Healthcare for Match Day 5. Out tonight, Justin Garza still recovering from the ACL. Also out tonight, no Highmar, no Fuad Ananiyi, no Johnny Viall. So, Jason, as we look at the starting 11 for Atlanta United 2, what do you see tonight?
Well, going back to that injury report real quick, Johnny Viall's injury, that happened on the challenge that Viall tried to play through. He got back up to his feet. He did play for a little while after that. Hopefully not going to be out for a long period of time. Adeniyi is still in concussion protocol after a training hit to the head, so hopefully he will be back soon. Right now you look at this lineup, and this is very similar to what we saw last week. Eric Centeno comes into the starting lineup for the first time this season. He's been good off the bench. Eric Lopez keeps his starting spot up top with Firmino into the starting lineup after not starting last week. Brennan on the flank. The holding midfield, I think this is going to be consistent for a little while with Kofi Tuamasi and a Johnny Fortune. Fullback's going to be consistent for a while with Tyler Young on the right, Aiden McFadden on the left. And at center back with Adeniyi out, it's been Efrain Morales and Noah Cobb. And I thought Morales was excellent last week. Vicente Reyes, fourth start of the season in goal, almost had that clean sheet. But this is a lineup you would expect at this point from Atlanta United too, as I think we're starting to get to know this group in Game 5.
And at the same time, you look at those who would be available, some interesting names on the bench tonight.
Yeah, a couple of academy players on the bench that we have not seen this season, and we have not seen ever with Atlanta United too in terms of being on the bench because they're so young. Rocket Rita, his first time in an Atlanta United 2 team sheet. just turned 16 last week. And Cooper Sanchez, he is 15 and hasn't been 15 for very long either. So you've got two very young players who have been training with Atlanta United too and impressing Steve Cook. They earned the opportunity on the bench. Andrew Deganis from the academy also on the bench. Then some expected faces with Karim Tamimi, Tony Tiente, Nelson Orji, David Mejia, Sebastian Guerra is your reserve goalkeeper, and Alan Carlton, who can also come into the midfield.
Looking forward to hearing your call coming up in just a little bit. Thanks for hanging out with us, giving you a bit of a preview. Now to Chicago Fire 2. They've had 5 different players put the ball in the back of the net so far this season for them. Starting from the back, Jeffrey Gall is in net. Your back four, Charlie Ostrom, Kendall Burks, Eric Leonard, and Justin Reynolds. Sergio Orhel, Javier Casas, Luca Perpa in your midfield, Billy Hensey, Amari Glasgow, and the point of the spear is Misael Rodriguez tonight for Chicago Fire 2. Your officials, your referee is Austin Saney, your assistant referees Rachel Smith and Jonathan Smith. Your fourth official tonight is Kyle Johnston. Now, as we get you ready for everything, remember, this is the only match tonight in MLS Next Pro. We had 2 matches back on Friday. Red Bull 2 getting a 1-0 win over New England Revolution 2 to continue their early start here in the league. And also out west, Real Monarchs had a win over North Texas SC. That one was at Choctaw Stadium out west, and that one was a 1-0 score as well. So once again, Red Bulls, we've seen them. We've seen Revolution 2. We know what to expect from them. So one in the Eastern Conference, one in the Western Conference to get things all geared up for the weekend. This is the only match tonight. 11 matches in MLS Next Pro tomorrow. We'll go over all of those in the postgame show to get you ready for what's going on here in MLS Next Pro. Tonight, our focus for games outside of Kennesaw will be in Major League Soccer. A lot of matches going on in your Saturday night. The only one that is happening tomorrow is the first team match between Atlanta United and Chicago Fire. We'll go through all of the matches in Major League Soccer. Handful of matches starting at 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll keep you up to date with those, and the 8:30s get you ready for the 9:30s as well. So that will be the interesting aspect of tonight, is we'll be keeping an eye on what's going on the first team level as opposed to the second team level, just getting you ready for standings and anthems and getting you ready for the first 45 minutes here. Once again, Eastern Conference on top, it's Crown Legacy after the first 4 match weeks at 10 points. Orlando City V with 9. Revs 2 with 9 points, but remember, they played 5 matches. Same for Red Bulls at 9 points behind on goal difference. They're in 4th. Crew 2, 8 points. They are currently in 5th. They've only played 3 matches. NYCFC, 3 matches, 6 points. Fire 2 once again coming into tonight with that 2-2 record. They are at 6 points. FC Cincinnati is at 4 points, 1-1-1 across the board. In their first 3 matches, Atlanta United 2-1-2-1. Huntsville, Hunt City at 0-2-2, 4 points so far this season. Philadelphia Union 2 with that win last time out that we gave you a bit of the highlights for in the preview. They're at 3 points. Inter Miami 2 at 3 points. Toronto FC 2 still looking for their first point of the year. They are out of the blocks at 0-3. They have given up 8 goals in 3 matches. They have only scored 2. Western Conference standings from top to bottom. Austin FC 2 in their first 5 matches played, 4-0-1. They're at 13 points. Colorado Rapids 2, they've run the table in their first 4. They are 4 wins to the good. They are at 12 points. Minnesota United FC 2, they are at 3-1 in their first 4. They're at 9 points ahead of North Texas SC, who have already played 6 matches this season. They only have 9 points to show for it with a record of 3-3. Goal difference of -4 right now. Sporting Kansas City 2 in the middle of the table in 5th with 8 points. Whitecaps FC 2, identical record, behind on goal difference. One of the more prolific offenses so far in MLS Next Pro. They have scored 2.5 goals per match, 10 goals scored in 4 matches. 7th place, San Jose Earthquakes 2. They are at 6 points at 2-2 through their first 4 matches. Real Monarchs, 6 points, 5 matches. They've only scored 2 goals, but they've given up 12. Tacoma Defiance at 5 points ahead of Houston Dynamo 2 on goal difference. LA Galaxy 2, Los Dos are at 3 points with 11th place there so far in the West. LAFC 2 at 2 points, St. Louis City 2 at 1 point, Timbers 2 looking for their first points of the year. And now our national anthem from Kennesaw. Anthem has been played from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Lineups have been announced. Everything is in place for the first 45 minutes. Atlanta United 2 and Chicago Fire FC 2. The call of the match for you here on the SDH Network. It's Jason Longshore. Jason, take it away.
Let's see if Atlanta United 2 can get their second win of 2023 and start a little winning streak here at the Fraction tonight in Kennesaw. Twos come in 1-2-1. Chicago 2-0-2 on the year. Chicago starting 4 homegrown players in their lineup tonight. A couple of first-team players as well. Atlanta United 2, interestingly enough, no academy minutes yet for this team. But like we talked about in the pregame, Rocket Rita and Cooper Sanchez on the bench for the first time. Very young, part of that next generation of Five Stripes, trying to earn their stripes here in MLS Next Pro.
Number 21, Eric Centeno.
Centeno getting his first start of the year. He's been impactful every time he's been on the pitch. Generation Adidas draft pick out of the University of Pacific. Spent some time in Sacramento Republic's academy. Centeno is a player that is pushing to get some minutes in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. That's another subplot tonight. With that game coming up on Wednesday, first team match tomorrow afternoon against Chicago. Depending on how that goes, there could be some minutes on offer for players who perform well tonight for Atlanta United 2. Refresh on the lineups for Chicago. It's Jeffrey Gall in goal, backline left to right, Charlie Ostrom, Kendall Burks, Eric Leonard, and Justin Reynolds. Three-man midfield, Luca Perpa, Javier Casas, and Sergio Orejel. And wingers, Omari Glasgow, Billy Hensey up top, Misael Rodriguez. For Atlanta United 2, it's Vicente Reyes in goal, backline left to right, Aiden McFadden, Efrain Morales, Noah Cobb, Tyler Young. 2 in the holding midfield, Kofi Twumasi and Ajani Fortune, Nick Firmino in front of them, Eric Centeno on the left flank, Luke Brennan on the right, and Eric Lopez up top. Lopez with 2 goals on the year, Firmino with 3. Kofi Twumasi leading MLS Next Pro with 14 interceptions, playing in that holding midfield next to a Johnny Fortune tonight. 3 homegrowns in the lineup for Atlanta, 1 future homegrown in Luke Brennan. We are almost ready to kick off. Let's kick it for 45 from Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2 in the all-black with red trim, gold print. Chicago in the all-white. Atlanta moving left to right on your radio dial. Noah Cobb's long ball out of the back, blocked out for a throw. High pressure from Chicago and Omari Glasgow. Glasgow, the 19-year-old Guyana national team regular. He's got 3 goals in national team duty. Good big switch there from Atlanta. Finds Firmino at the midfield stripe. Centeno further out to the left. Centeno cuts inside on the dribble. Finds Lopez. Lopez wants to turn and go. Tackled down cleanly. Chicago under pressure at the top of their own 18. Kendall Burks trying to find a way out. Not finding that right now. Neither is Ostrom. Ostrom earns a foul from Luke Brennan. Not a lot of contact there. Charlie Ostrom knew he was in trouble. Got the call. That's intelligent on the ball from the number 48 for Chicago Fire, too. 1 goal on the year for Ostrom. One of the players who stood out for Chicago in MLS Next Pro last season. Free kick played into the middle third. Johnny Fortune wins the header. Lopez goes up battling for it. Doesn't find the second ball, battling with Eric Leonard. It's all the way back to Jeffrey Gall. Gall long diagonal to the right, headed forward to Efrain Morales. Back to Reyes at the top of his own 18. Square right to Cobb. Flipped into the center circle. Firmino, good control to chest it down around traffic. Play down the right side. Luke Brennan overhit. Can't run that one down. Ostrom will take the throw. Ostrom throws in up the line. Control, brought down, lost. Here comes Atlanta. Noah Cobb stepping up high into the play. His pass looking for Lopez. Finds him the second time. Lopez goes for the flick. Doesn't come off. Chicago throw after all of that. High pressure from Atlanta, making life difficult for Chicago. 150 seconds into this one. Fire with a throw on the left in their own defensive third. Given back to Ostrom. I don't think he wanted it. Plays it off of Brennan. Headed down by Young. Fortune forward to Brennan. Brennan overhead flick to Lopez. Flick in behind. Brennan gets in behind into the 18. Luke Brennan cross deflected out by Burks. Corner Atlanta. Good quick movement from Luke Brennan. Nice combination there with Eric Lopez. Can't say enough good things about Eric Lopez and his performances as of late for Atlanta United too. He's going to take this corner from the near side. Outswinger. Lopez with the delivery. Top of the 6, headed on. Kept out by Gall. Nick Firmino looking for goal number 4 of the year. Denied by Jeffrey Gall. Great ball from Lopez. Nice header from Firmino, but the 30-year-old Chicago native makes the big save to keep Atlanta off the board. Lopez will give it another try. Back post this time. McFadden flicks it forward. Morales can't turn. McFadden in the 18, chips to the back post. Gall goes up to catch. Gall last playing in the Swedish league, throws this out to the left. Here comes Omari Glasgow. Glasgow further down the left side for Misael Rodriguez. That's run down by Tyler Young. Reyes picks out Firmino in the center circle. Firmino with a target on his chest so far tonight for Atlanta United too, getting them out of trouble with that direct play. Firmino gives it back to Morales in the middle third. Across to the right to Cobb. Further to the right to Young. Forward to Brennan, back to Young. Middle third on the right. Young skips past Glasgow, finds a Johnny Fortune to his left. Further to the left to Aiden McFadden. McFadden closed down quickly, earns a throw. Billy Hinsey stepped to him quickly, the 19-year-old Missouri native. 5th game of the season for Hinsey. McFadden throws it into Twomasi, gives it back to McFadden. Chicago wins it back quickly. Here come the Fire. Forward to Rodriguez. Across to the right, Hinsey lays it off to Justin Reynolds. Sliding challenge from Centeno. Last touch was off of Reynolds as well. A little bit of hesitation there from our referee crew, making sure they were on the same page. Austin Saney shows the Atlanta throw. McFadden will take. Throws it up the line. Centeno trying to turn that corner. Gets a throw instead. McFadden. Centeno turns, fouled. High pressure from Chicago. Foul is called on Javier Casas. McFadden takes the free kick backwards to Morales. And now across to Noah Cobb as we get into the 7th minute. Tyler Young carrying forward. No score in this one yet, Atlanta and Chicago. Nick Firmino forced a big save from Jeffrey Gall. And Atlanta's trying to get back into the attacking half to find another opportunity. Reyes across to Morales. Firmino pops up in another great spot. Cuts back to his right. Gives it back to Efrain. Forward to a Johnny Fortune. Back to Cobb. Connecting the dots, Atlanta United 2 as they advance. Tyler Young on the right now. Brennan lets that ride. Took a deflection. It will be an Atlanta throw. Crafty from Luke Brennan. Trying to let Tyler Young go get his own pass. Almost worked. Young throws into Firmino. Gives it back to Young. Now a Johnny Fortune on it. Forward to Firmino. Pinball action. Still battling for it. Firmino wanted a handball. Didn't get it. Chicago under pressure. Gall has to sidestep the pressure from Eric Lopez. Good ball from Jeffrey Gall into the midfield. Here comes Chicago down the left. Glasgow doesn't get to it. Tyler Young slides across in front. Chicago throw. Ostrom throws that inside to Orahel. He earns a free kick. Sergio Orahel, 17-year-old homegrown for the Fire. He's back on it now after the free kick. Eric Leonard. Last played with Forward Madison in USL League One. The 27-year-old providing some experience for a young Chicago team. Leonard back to Gall. Gall overhits the ball for Justin Reynolds on the right. Atlanta throw. Edge of the attacking third. Left side, McFadden looking for options. Throws into Centeno. Kofi Twumasi still in the attacking half. Squares it to the right to Young. Young further to the right to Brennan. Nowhere to go. Finds Noah Cobb behind him in support. Reyes. Morales. Morales over the top. Long run from McFadden, who had overlapped. Slightly overhit. Gall claims it. Plays short to Kendall Burks. Former University of Washington star gives it back to Gall. Now Eric Leonard. Second game of the season for Leonard. Passes forward to midfield. Brought down by Hensey, but he loses possession on the turn. Twumasi over the top for Brennan. Headed away. Ostrom got there first. It's back to Gall. Pressure, gives it away to Brennan. Brennan lays it off. Firmino! Goal! 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 Atlanta United 2. Pressure on Jeffrey Gall, and he gives it to Luke Brennan. Headed down to Firmino. And his fourth goal of the season for Nick Firmino. Atlanta United 2 leads 1-0 in the 10th minute. You could hear the fans talking about the pressure and what it was doing to Chicago, and that a goal was coming. They nailed it. Gall gives it away to Brennan. Brennan heads it down. Firmino slams it home for his fourth goal of the year. Atlanta leading Chicago 1-0. 11th minute now as Chicago kicks off. Eric Leonard carrying forward. Reynolds on the right side. Forward to Hensey. Hensey riding off challenges. Out wide to the right to Reynolds. Good cross to the back post to Glasgow, who slips. Feet went right out from under Amari Glasgow. Goal kick, Atlanta. Goal kick played short to Morales. Now McFadden. Forward to Centeno. Centeno wants to spin around to his right. He does. All the way across to Tyler Young. First time back to Cobb. Cobb, long diagonal. Great ball from Noah Cobb for Eric Lopez. Lopez down the left side. Pulls it back. Firmino there to support. Lays it back to Lopez. Further to McFadden. 12th minute. McFadden drops it back to midfield to Morales. Patience from Atlanta United 2 with the 1-0 lead. Cobb forward to Fortune, who's dragged down. Sergio Orejel with the foul. Free kick about 45 yards from goal for Atlanta. They play short. Lopez. Firmino lays it off to Lopez. Out wide to Centeno. Centeno into the 18. Step overs. Across to his right. Tackled away. Hensey dropped back to help double team. Good pressure from Twumasi, but a foul is called. Thought Twumasi had forced that turnover, but he commits the foul instead. Chicago free kick taken quickly. Casas to his left to Ostrom, crossing into the attacking half. Good ball from Ostrom, looking for the run of Orejel. Cobb got there first. His clearance picked off by Ostrom. Sliding challenge by Young, knocks it away. Chipped into the 18, looking for Ostrom. He pops it across to the back post. Nobody home except for Eric Centeno. Ball kept falling for Chicago there, but they weren't able to create a chance out of it. Centeno trapped in the corner, earns a goal kick. Last touch from Hensey. Nice work by Centeno to clean that up. Reyes, goal kick, comes up short. Glasgow on it, cross. Cobb cuts it out. Falls to Casas. Lays it off. Morales heads it away at the top of the 18. Casas trying to find the second ball. He commits a foul. 14th minute, Atlanta United 2 leading Chicago 1-0. Nick Firmino with the goal. Luke Brennan with his first assist of the season. Noah Cobb off of the Atlanta free kick. Back to Reyes at the top of his 18. Good ball from Vicente to Aiden McFadden. Chested down. Morales. Cobb. 25 yards from his own goal. Cobb dribbles forward. Has Firmino. Fortune. Cobb. Triangles forming for Atlanta. Square to the left to Morales. Fortune spins around to his left. Good turn from him. Eric Lopez at midfield, tackled away. Fortune commits the foul. Reynolds was in trouble. That's a Chicago free kick. They go quick. Kendall Burke's on it in his own half now. Leonard. Leonard, loose touch. Lopez providing some pressure, but Leonard was able to rescue the play. Big switch to Glasgow. Glasgow, 25 yards from goal. 1v1 with Young. Cuts inside. Shot blocked by Twumasi. Young fights for it. Can't find the second ball. Follow-up shot saved by Reyes. The other one just kept falling for Chicago, and Misael Rodriguez didn't catch that shot with as much power as he would have liked. Lopez fouled in the middle third. Free kick Atlanta. Leonard commits the foul. Comfortable save from Reyes. Good footwork from him just to slide across, stay on his toes as that deflection just kept falling Chicago's way. McFadden dropped to Morales across to Cobb. Cobb over the top for Luke Brennan. Brennan brings it down, top of the 18. Brennan, flag is up. Brennan tried to time that run. It It's to our right from our broadcast position, so it's not the best angle to be able to see if he actually timed it. Right after the ball was hit from Cobb, turned that way, and I thought Brennan was a step off. Casas off the free kick. Ostrom further up the line for Glasgow. Here comes Noah Cobb across, sliding. Challenge, a Chicago throw. The pace from Noah Cobb. Throw in into the 18. Cobb can let that go. Goal kick. It's an odd decision on that throw in from Charlie Ostrom. Glasgow went one way. Rodriguez was a long way away. Goal kick played short to Morales. Morales in trouble in the 18, dribbles his way out of it. It's one way to solve the problem. Plays inside to Kofi Twumasi, who's fouled. A lot of fouls in transition moments here. We'll see when Austin Saney, the referee, starts to throw some cards for those transition fouls. Morales back to Reyes. Reyes under pressure, gives it away. Chicago throw. 12 yards off the end line. Glasgow, Rodriguez, Ostrom looking for the cross, finds it, caught in the 6 by Reyes. Good pressure from Chicago. Atlanta's having some issues with it. They've got to be careful with the 1-0 lead. Reyes punt diagonally to the right, looking for Brennan, headed away by Kendall Burks. Atlanta throw. Tyler Young to take in the 18th minute. Young to Firmino, who's wrestling with Casas. No foul. Ends up all the way back to Gall. Gall, pass picked off by Twumasi. Lays it off to Lopez. Centeno cutting in on his right foot. Centeno wide to the far post. Atlanta very interchangeable between Centeno, Firmino, and Lopez, with Brennan stretching the field on the right. Centeno that time had the take, but pushed the shot wide of the far post. Here comes Chicago into the middle third off the goal kick. Chipped out wide to Ostrom. Ostrom, Glasgow, back to Ostrom. Further back to Burks, but that's overhit. Gall has to come out and clean it up. Tried to put it in the open window here in the press box. Didn't quite get to us. Throw in Atlanta at midfield. Young has played every minute so far. Throws it up the line. Ostrom recovers it for Chicago. Across to Leonard. Luca Perpa. Hasn't been very involved so far, Perpa. Forward to Hensey. Back to Perpa. Back to Leonard. Chicago back in their own half. Javier Casas spins to his left. Casas to midfield. Passes forward. A good ball forward to Glasgow. Glasgow, an even better ball forward to Rodriguez. Corner of the 18. Lays it off for Ostrom. Back to Casas, 30 yards from goal. Pass blocked by Fortune. Twumasi, good ball from him to Brennan. Trying to lead the break, brought down by Ostrom. That's going to get a yellow card. Charlie Ostrom goes into the book in the 20th minute.
Chicago fires 2 yellow card in the 20th minute, number 48, Charlie Ostrom.
Ostrom, first yellow of the night. Free kick Atlanta, right at midfield. Firmino, Young, Cobb. Atlanta resets back into the row to 18 with Reyes. Morales. Big diagonal. Ostrom wins the header. Brennan was lurking behind him. Chicago goes forward quickly. Hensey lays it off to Justin Reynolds. Inside to Perpa. Perpa. Big switch to Glasgow. Glasgow double teamed. Lays it off to Ostrom. Ostrom back into the middle. Javier Casas. Back to Burks at midfield. Chicago couldn't find an opening there. They have to go back to reset. Orahel, Glasgow takes a deflection. Cobb clears. Young heads it off the touchline. Intercepted by Orahel. Here comes Sergio Orahel. Fortune with a block. Centeno finds the rebound, lays it off to McFadden. Passes forward to Lopez. Lopez tried to flick that on, but Leonard blocked it. Atlanta throw in the middle third on the left. '22nd minute. 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Nick Firmino on the goal. Luke Brennan on the assist. Created by Atlanta pressure. Aiden McFadden trying to create something of his own on the dribble. Lays it off to Firmino down the left. He's up against the end line just outside the box. Cross blocked by Reynolds. Atlanta corner on the far side. Aiden McFadden took off on a mazy dribbling run. Beat a couple on the dribble. Created the space for Firmino out wide. Corner on the far side. Lopez will take it. In swinger this time from Eric Lopez. Played to the back post. Morales is in the vicinity, but Gall gets a hand to it. Centeno runs it down. Turns back around to his right. Gets up to the end line, draws the foul. Free kick just outside the 18. Chicago disagreeing with the decision. Don't think the disagreement's going to work, and Charlie Ostrom might need to be careful on a yellow card. Eric Lopez will take this free kick. So up about 13 yards from the corner and a couple steps off the end line. Let's see what Lopez has in mind. More arguments from Chicago. The debate does not go their way. Lopez across, headed, wide. Goal kick. Lopez put that one up for Efrain Morales to go get. He did, but he couldn't get over it. 24th minute, Atlanta leading Chicago 1-0. Match day 5 in MLS Next Pro. Misael Rodriguez turns into Kofi Twumasi. Played forward to overhit. Gall picks it up instead, looking for Lopez. Twumasi with another recovery for Atlanta United 2. Here comes Chicago down the left. Glasgow cuts past one, cuts past another. Omari Glasgow. Twumasi gets there and takes it off of his boots. Chicago finds the second ball, though. Ostrom out wide on the left. Inside to Orahel. Laid off to Glasgow. Top of the 18. Stuffed by Cobb. Brennan trying to turn. He does. Here comes Luke Brennan on the run down the right. Pulls it back, looking for the reinforcements. Firmino's there. Played it forward, asking a lot of Luke Brennan on that run. Luke saves his energy for a better opportunity down the road. Goal kick Chicago. Gall plays it short to Burks. Burks has to dribble his way out of trouble. Lays it off to the left to Ostrom. Ostrom. Perpa. Flicked forward for Glasgow. Young makes the play. Good defensive run from Tyler Young. Reyes, his long ball is picked off by Casas. Cobb steps forward to win another one. Brennan flicks inside. He's fouled. Ostrom with the foul again. On the yellow already. I think he's getting the last warning from the referee. Charlie Ostrom living dangerously for Chicago Fire 2. 12 fouls so far in total, 8-4 in favor of Atlanta in fouls earned. McFadden, long diagonal, looking for Brennan, too long. Goal kick. Atlanta out shooting Chicago 5-2, leading 1-0. Eric Leonard dribbling out of his own 18 after the goal kick. Reynolds, pass intercepted by Twumasi. Who else? Passes forward, foul called. Reynolds commits it. Free kick Atlanta. Edge of the attacking third. Lopez fouled that time. It's Lopez and Centeno over it. 27th minute. 1-0 Atlanta. Lopez about 30 yards plus from goal. Centeno runs over it. Lopez drives it into the 18, caught by Gall. Gall goes up like a cornerback and snags that one. Twumasi comes across like a free safety and knocks it out for a throw. Hey, KSU plays football here, so, you know, it happens. Played across to the right. Justin Reynolds dribbling forward. Pass over hit, looking for Perpa. Morales with some nice foot skills on the dribble. Twumasi passes forward. Lopez having to fight through traffic. Fouled. That's number 10 on Chicago. Only one yellow so far, 10 fouls. I mean, something's got to give, right? Pass back to the 18 to Reyes, 28th minute. Vicente long down the right side. Brennan brings it down exquisitely. Lays it off to Firmino, gets it back. Luke Brennan passes forward to Fortune, he can't turn. Glasgow, back to Ostrom, back to Burks. Pass inside, Perpa gets a little lucky with the deflection. Cobb finds it at midfield. Firmino, Young, out wide to Firmino. Nick Firmino bossing this game so far. Dribbling forward, Young trying to use his pace to get there in the corner, he does. Cuts it back, draws the corner, great work from Tyler Young. Atlanta corner near side going into the 29th minute. Eric Lopez coming across to take it. Outswinger from Lopez, Twumasi, and Morales are targets. Top of the six, headed away. Lopez trying to run it down. Rodriguez does instead. Chicago wants to break out down the left. Perpa decides against it. Cuts it back to Orehel. Reynolds on the right. He's got Glasgow further out to the right this time. Fortune comes across to defend. It finds Glasgow. Glasgow, edge of the attacking third on the right. Inside to Perpa. Laid off to Casas. Passes forward. Perpa gets it back. 30 yards from goal. Out wide to the left to Rodriguez. Into the 18. 1v1 blocked. Good double team there from Young and Brennan. Brennan was the second in the double team. 1v1 turned into a 1v2 as Atlanta tries to break out. Their pass goes off of the referee, so it'll be a drop ball back to Noah Cobb. Cobb squares it to Efrain Morales. McFadden. Back to Efrain. Back to McFadden. Dribbling inside. Glasgow tackles it away. Glasgow's going to stay over on the right side right now for Chicago. Atlanta throw. Fortune. Back to Morales. And now Vicente Reyes in his own 18. Big long diagonal. Burks goes up to win the header against Brennan. Headed forward by Ostrom. Perpa gives it back to him. Heavy touch. Kofi Twumasi there to clean it up for Atlanta. Brennan goes for the back heel. Foul. Referee tried to see if advantage would materialize. Brennan was hacked down by Kendall Burks. Whistle was in the referee's mouth as that back heel almost found Nicholas Firmino. Didn't quite work out, so it's brought back for the foul. I'm losing count on Chicago fouls at this point. I think we're up to 12. Young. Back to Noah Cobb. Across to Morales. And now Johnny Fortune, who's drifted over to the left. Fortune drifts over to the right on the dribble. There's another foul from Chicago. Billy Hensey commits it. Sorry, Perpa commits that. Hensey's moved over to the left. Hensey and Glasgow switch sides. Free kick played to Twumasi. Back to Morales, 32nd minute. 1-0 Atlanta. Reyes chips it forward. Nice ball from Vicente Reyes to Nick Firmino. Out wide to the right to Tyler Young. Young bends one down the right flank for Luke Brennan to chase. He gets it. Brennan, 1v1 with Burks. Edge of the 18. Brennan takes him to the end line. Cross off of Burks. Corner Atlanta. Obvious part of the game plan tonight to get Luke Brennan isolated 1v1 as much as possible. Brennan, the future homegrown for Atlanta United, making things happen tonight. He's got an assist already. Lopez with the corner, outswinger, near post, flicked on, still there, cleared by Leonard. Into the sky, brought down by Young. Lopez out on the right. Lays it off for Young to go chase after. Young commits the foul. Ostrom goes down. Free kick Chicago. They play short to Burks. 33rd minute. Inside to Gall. Back to Burks. First half action brought to you by the Burnt Hickory Brewery, home of the Down South Hellas Lager, official beer of Atlanta United 2. Cobb with a very slight push in the back on Rodriguez. That's going to be a Chicago free kick. Happens sometimes when one team commits a lot of fouls, the line changes for the other team. Ostrom plays it up the flank. Perpa. Hensey back to Ostrom. Back to Casas. Back into the middle third. Back into their own half. Chicago. Leonard. Back into the attacking half now. Out wide to the right. Nowhere to go. Good defending from Centeno. Played inside to Casas. Casas now out to the right to Glasgow. Well worked by Chicago. They found the opening. Glasgow. Cross. Not well worked. Goal kick. Glasgow bombed that one a little bit. Goal kick. Vicente Reyes. Cobb passes forward looking for Brennan. Burks finds it instead. Header forward over the head of Orehel. Fortune settles. Firmino dribbling forward looking for some help. Young there to support. Young flicks that forward to Firmino. That's crafty from Tyler Young. Firmino wasn't able to bring it under control. Tyler Young, a couple times a game, it feels like he does something that really catches me off guard. Young is a player to watch for Atlanta United too. I've loved watching his development as a right back. Chicago in possession in their own half. Burks, poorly hit ball looking for Ostrom. Out for a throw. Chicago rattled at times by Atlanta's pressure. Throw in, picked off by Ostrom. His pass forward, picked off by Fortune. Cobb's pass, picked off by Hensey. Sliding challenge from Young, that knocks it back to Reyes. Another good recovery defensively by Tyler Young. Efrain Morales, low pass. Leonard gets there first. Firmino commits the foul on Leonard. Like I said, you see how the fouls start to even up as a game goes on. Down the right side, Reynolds over hit for Perpa. McFadden's got work to do. He turns to his left and chips it forward to Firmino. Glasgow finds the second ball and finds the back of Kofi Twumasi's calf. Free kick Atlanta. 13-7 on fouls now. Actually 14-7, I think. I don't know if John was writing that down fast enough. You'll hear from Jon Nelson in about 10-plus minutes during halftime. I'll get you updated on all the scores around Major League Soccer. Reyes down the middle this time. I think he wanted to angle that down the right side for Brennan. Gall rolls it out short to Burks. Burks across to the right to Eric Leonard. Leonard back to Burks. Lopez chasing. Order Hell dropping to help build up play for Chicago. Good pass all the way across, finds Luca Purpa. Purpa up the right side to Reynolds. Reynolds further up the right to Glasgow. Back cross to the penalty spot. Shot blocked. Caught by Reyes. Cobb came across to clean it up. Got a deflection on it. Reyes with the catch. The cutback cross from Glasgow was nice. Chicago changing the way that they're building up against Atlanta's pressure. It's starting to work a little bit. Firmino battling, fouled by Glasgow. Second time in about 100 seconds. Might be up to 15 fouls now by Chicago. I don't know the MLS Next Pro records in terms of fouls in a match, but that could be in play. Sergio Orejel could be in play for a yellow card, keeping up the descent. Doesn't get one yet. Free kick across to Brennan. Hensey fouled by Brennan. Like I said, that foul number will start to equalize over time. It's just how these things go. The line changes a little bit when you have one team as physical as Chicago has been so far. Here they come to the right, inside to Glasgow. Glasgow, forward to Rodriguez, back to Purpa. McFadden with the interception and clearance. Chicago starting to build some things, though, in the 38th minute. Atlanta's got to tighten up. Reynolds will take the throw on the right side. Midfielders are dropping into the outside channels, allowing the fullbacks to get higher for Chicago, creating some overloads. Reynolds, big part of that. Glasgow down the right side. Wants to cross. Low. Morales cuts it out. That will be a corner for Chicago on the far side. 39th minute. Corner Chicago. Luca Purpa to take. In-swinger from the far side. Purpa. Driven low. Flicked on. Header over the bar. Reyes with the save. Chicago will take another corner. Couple of flicks. Leonard with the little back heel. Cheeky at the corner of the 6. And Reyes with the save. Might have been going over, might have come off the bar. Vicente's got to be sure there. Purpa, another corner. This time to the back post. Nobody's there. Kofi Twumasi running it down. Just shields Casas off. Goal kick. 40th minute. 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Nick Firmino from Luke Brennan. Noah Cobb gets the goal kick from Reyes. Tyler Young. Big diagonal looking for Firmino. Glasgow heads it back to Leonard instead. Casas turns in the center circle to the left. Lays it off for Burks. Forward to Casas. Back to Leonard. Square to Burks. Forward to Casas in the middle third. Into the attacking half now. Rodriguez lays it off to Orejel. Ostrom down the left. Left-footed cross. Back post. Glasgow and McFadden both go up for it. Neither one gets it. Reynolds runs it down in the corner. Passes into the 18 to Glasgow. Back out wide to Reynolds. Reynolds, cross, back post. Ostrom there, just outside the 18. Defended by Centeno. Chip in from Ostrom behind the goal. Goal kick. '41st minute now. Atlanta United 2 goal kick. But Chicago building, starting to get some momentum here. Reyes will take the goal kick. guess that was a warning for time wasting. Chicago's high pressing, so, I mean, you got to be able to pick the pass out. Long diagonal down the right side. Centeno's moved over to the right. Brennan's moved over to the left. Ostrom won the header. Fortune comes across to step in front of Perpa and regain possession for Atlanta. McFadden drops it to Morales, forward to Fortune. He's able to turn on Perpa. Firmino tries to lay it off for McFadden, but it's intercepted. And it'll be a Chicago free kick. Fouls will be 15-15 in 5 minutes. And Johnny Fortune gets a yellow. Okay. 42nd minute. Chicago free kick, 10 yards inside the attacking half. We're a little ways away. Fortune could have said one of those magic words. You never know. Free kick played into the 18. Header won by Morales. McFadden heads it out. Glasgow left-footed shot wide. Sliced it wide of the far post. Glasgow looking like me with a 5-iron. Came right across it with the left foot. Goal kick, Vicente Reyes. He's going to play long this time. Down the middle. Lopez doesn't win it in front of Burks. Cobb clears it out for a Chicago throw. Hensey takes the throw about 15 yards further forward. Orahel gives it back to Hensey. Hensey dribbling through the middle, lays it off to Rodriguez. Misael Rodriguez drops it to Casas. All the way across to Reynolds. Inside to Glasgow. Glasgow, 1-2, gets it back. Wants to load up that left foot. It's not there for him. Casas. It's played all the way back into their own half, back to Burks. 44th minute now. Atlanta leading 1-0. Chipped into the 18. Morales has to deal with it. He does. Finds Young to the right. Young turns the corner on the dribble. Brennan back over to the right side. He dribbles past Burks. High pressure from Chicago. They force the turnover. Casas. Ostrom. Inside shot. Off of a bump. Easy save. Reyes. No foul. Reyes rolls it out to his right to Cobb. Atlanta under pressure right now from Chicago. They are feeling it at the moment. Brennan commits the foul. Not much in that. I think that might honestly be for the challenge that advantage was played. That's what the referee's talking to Luke Brennan about. It was a challenge on Ostrom. Advantage was played, but Brennan went in recklessly. Chicago gets the free kick now. Wasn't much in that foul from Brennan, honestly. I'm surprised it was called, but I thought he might have got a yellow from the earlier challenge. He doesn't. Orahel behind Brennan down the left. Ostrom, left-footed cross. Flicked across to Leonard. Shot blocked. Morales clears. Atlanta's got defending to do. They might have to do it until the halftime whistle. Reynolds, 45th minute now. Nowhere to go for Reynolds on the throw, so he drops it back. Casas on the dribble, takes a slight bump from Eric Lopez and goes down. Free kick. I wasn't lying about it being 15-15 on fouls in 5 minutes. We're really close to that. Free kick, Chicago. Luca Perpa will take it. Asks for 10 yards, gets 10 yards. Fortune and Brennan create a two-man wall. Perpa into the 18. Morales, Glasgow, shot blocked. Trying to recycle. Burks with the cross. McFadden heads it forward. Here comes Nick Firmino in first half stoppage time. Firmino out wide to the right. Brennan. Only a minute of stoppage time to work with. Brennan turns the corner on the right, dribbles inside, takes a bump. Ball came back off of his hand, and Brennan's going to get a yellow, which is absolutely bizarre. Brennan gets a yellow, and if that's for persistent infringement, then Chicago should have 5 yellows. Absolutely bizarre there. If you're given the yellow for persistent infringement or for a dive, he's bumped. You don't want to call the foul, that's fine, but it always evens out, doesn't it? Free kick Chicago, and they might be satisfied here because there's not much time left. Long ball, Young's got to deal with it. Young under pressure, gets bumped, no foul, runs it down, gives it back to Cobb. Cobb long clearance, Burks wins the header. And that will do it for the first half. 14-11 on your fouls at halftime, but most importantly, 1-0 on the scoreboard. Nick Firmino, 4th goal of the season. Luke Brennan with the assist, and Atlanta United 2 leads Chicago 1-0. Halftime show coming up next on the SDH Network.
Kennesaw, halftime here at the Fraction. Atlanta United 2 with a 1-0 lead over Chicago Fire FC 2. Nick Firmino in the 10th minute, his 4th of the season, the assist from Luke Brennan, his 1st of the year, and that has gotten us to where we are right now. 1-0, the home side with the lead here at the break. As Jason mentioned, we got a lot of activity going on. 7 matches underway right now in Major League Soccer. And by the end of halftime, you'll have 2 more. Houston hosting Inter Miami at Shell Energy, and that is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. Also, Nashville and LAFC is an 8:39 kick. That one also is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. We've got 7 matches going on right now. All of them are leaning toward halftime. In Charlotte and Columbus, Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte has a 1-0 lead, and that one is in the 43rd minute. You can catch that one on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. So Charlotte with a lead at home against Columbus. So big work for them at home. What can Charlotte do to maintain this advantage over Columbus? Hopefully we will keep an eye on that one as you go here in the 45th minute now with the score at 1-0. Charlotte leading Columbus here in the first half. Goal to Karl Świderski. That one was in the 37th, and that gave the margin at 1-0. Also heading toward the half on Apple TV Plus and Apple TV and MLS Season Pass, FC Cincinnati with a goal by Sergio Santos. Remember, no Brenner tonight for FC Cincinnati. They lead Portland by the score of 1-0. That one is heading toward the 45th minute. So Montreal, one of the worst teams right now in the Eastern Conference, at home. No offense really so far for Montreal this season, hosting Red Bulls. So what do you think's happening? Of course, Montreal with a 1-0 lead. That one's in the 43rd minute with that one on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. Goal in that one goes to Reyes in the 25th minute, credited on an own goal. So Montreal didn't score it themselves. They got a little help. So CF Montreal leading Red Bulls by the score of 1-0 as that one is heading toward the half. At the break, New England and a troubled Sporting Kansas City team hanging out at the bottom of the standings in the Western Conference, and it is a double by Vrioni. 4 minutes apart, Vrioni with 2 goals on the board. The assist on the first one from Boateng and Heel. Second one unassisted currently. So Vrioni with 2 goals on the board. Sporting Kansas City really hurting on the road in Foxborough, down 2-0 at the break. Goal just scored with NYC and Dallas, NYCFC. This one is on the free side of Apple TV, as is New England and Sporting Kansas City. NYCFC with a goal on the board late in the first half. This one also in the 45th minute. And it is Santi Rodriguez with a goal on the board in the 44th, 1-0. Video review on Pereira against Dallas in the 16th minute. Once again, that one was pulled back, but NYC with a goal in the 45th. NYC leading FC Dallas by the score of 1-0. Much like looking at Orlando and DC United. DC United always having problems on the road. This one on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. So, of course, naturally, what would happen first? DC United would score, but Orlando City has come back and equalized. Funtas with a goal in the 15th. 8 minutes later, McGuire with the equalizer assists to Ojeda and Antonio Carlos. So the lead by DC United only lasting 8 minutes is there at 45 plus 1. Funtas and McGuire on the board. DC United and Orlando City, they are at 1-1. Also, late first half, Insigne and Bernadeschi both in the lineup for Toronto. It has not made one bit of difference. Philadelphia leading that one by the score of 3-0. And if you had the chance to see it, the own goal that was credited to Lucas McNaughton in the 16th minute hit 4 players for Toronto FC, so it was wilder than the own goal last week. Lucas McNaughton, an own goal, was credited his way. Michael Ua with 2 goals, one in the 20th to make it 2-0. That one did go to VAR before it was kept on the board, and then Ua scoring again in the 43rd minute. So, just before the break, Philadelphia pouring it on to Toronto FC, who still has a lot of absences. No Michael Bradley is a part of that lineup tonight. And that one, 3-0 to Philadelphia late in the first half. So, once again, 45 plus 2. Charlotte leading Columbus 1-0. Apple TV, MLS Season Pass. Halftime now, Cincinnati leading Portland 1-0. Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. Halftime, CF Montreal leading Red Bulls 1-0. Apple TV MLS Season Pass. Halftime, New England 2 on the board with Sporting Kansas City. That's on the free side of Apple TV, as is at 45 plus 1. NYC with a 1-0 lead over FC Dallas. MLS Season Pass has at 45 plus 2 now. Orlando City and DC. That one tied at 1s. Philadelphia, as this one is sprinting to the half, leading at Toronto by the score of 3-0. We mentioned the 2 games coming up at 8:39 kicks in about 10 minutes' time. So we will be in the second half when Houston kicks off at home against Inter Miami on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. Same for Nashville at Geodis hosting LAFC. 9:39 kick. Colorado on the free side of Apple TV is going up against St. Louis City SC at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. Also, it is RSL on the free side of Apple TV hosting San Jose Earthquakes at 9:39. 2 matches at 10:30. It is LA Galaxy on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass hosting Austin FC at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, and Seattle, a very angry Seattle Sounders side. No Raul Ruiz Diaz for the next month or so. Looks like Hebert might be getting quality minutes as Seattle at 10:39 on Apple TV on the free side goes up against Minnesota United as the last match on your MLS Saturday. Once again, tomorrow, reminder, on FS1 and on the free side of Apple TV, it is Atlanta United and it is the Chicago Fire coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So you have players getting reps here for Chicago Fire FC2. You see them on the match day report for Chicago Fire coming up tomorrow when it comes to the Fire on FS1 and the free side of Apple TV going up against Atlanta United. Standings, once again, reminder in the East as to where things stand for Atlanta United. Atlanta United hanging out toward the top of the standings. It is New England right now at 20 points, 9 matches played. Cincinnati, identical record right now at 6-1-2, behind on goal difference. Atlanta United, 15 matches played, but once again, they have a match in hand leading into tomorrow. NYC at 15 points. Once again, that one is active behind Atlanta United on goal difference. Columbus at 14 points, 4-3-2, that game in progress. 14 points for them. Orlando City at 12, Nashville and Philadelphia at 11 points each. Chicago Fire coming into the match tomorrow with a record of 2-1-4. They have only played 7 matches, so they will have 2 matches in hand on some teams coming into action tomorrow afternoon. 10 points so far for Chicago. Pretty much even Steven on goals given and goals scored. They're right now at +1. They are north of the playoff bar. Teams to keep an eye on below the playoff bar. DC United at 9 points ahead of Charlotte and Toronto with 9 matches played currently included. Red Bulls right now at 8 points in the Eastern Conference. Inter Miami, 6 points in 7 matches played. CF Montreal chasing their second win of the season, should the next 45 be as kind as the first 45 was to them. 6 points so far in 8 matches, so things kind of crowding up a little bit in the Eastern Conference when it comes to all of your numbers. In the Western Conference right now, St. Louis once again waiting the kicks in the Western Conference. St. Louis City at 18 points, 6-2 out of the blocks in their first season. LAFC at 17 points at 5-0-2, waiting that matchup against Nashville. Seattle late night tonight at 16 points through their first 8 matches. FC Dallas going on right now. Live has them at 14 points in their 9th match of the year, 4-3-2, pending a final result. San Jose waiting for them to start at 14 points. Minnesota at 11. Houston and Vancouver 10 points each. Portland north of the playoff bar at 8. Austin at 8. Colorado at 7. Salt Lake at 6. LA and Sporting Kansas City at 3 points each. Looking at the stats for the first 45 minutes. Jason mentioned the foul numbers. We'll go ahead and put them first. Fouls, 14-11 is the number. And Chicago Fire, right now they've got the 14 and 1 yellow card each to Ostrom and to Luke Brennan. And that is the defensive numbers. 10 tackles, 8 of them won by Chicago Fire in the first 45 minutes. For Atlanta United, 4 for 6 on tackles, each team with 7 interceptions. Looking at some of the other numbers in the first half, shots on Chicago Fire FC2's half, they have 10 compared to Atlanta United 2's 5. 3 shots on target for the Fire compared to 2 for the Twos. Shots inside the box, even Steven at 5. 1 big chance for Atlanta United 2, and it was 9 touches in the opposition's 18 for Atlanta United compared to 6 for the Fire here in the first half. The only offside called on the Twos in the first 45. Possession numbers 54-46 if you're looking at percentages on behalf of Chicago Fire FC2. Total passes more performed by the Fire in the first 45 minutes. Passing accuracy 82% compared to 78 for Chicago Fire over Atlanta United. Crosses, Chicago Fire 13-8 in the first 45. 5 corners for Atlanta United 2 in the first 45 compared to 2 for Chicago Fire 2. So getting ready for the second 45. Let's bring in Jason here to get his thoughts before we get you squared away for the second 45. Took only 10 minutes for the pressure for Atlanta United 2 to create the 4th goal of the season for Nick Firmino, and it was off and running from there.
Yeah, it was a good start, but Chicago grew into it, and Chicago started to figure out how to play through Atlanta's pressure, and Atlanta's going to have to make some adjustments in the second 45. Last week against Orlando, I thought it was a complete performance with the exception of the very late goal that's a penalty, but a complete 90-minute performance that was at a high level. Before that, we had not seen this team put together two good halves. First half was good. Second half of the first half got away a little bit, but the first half overall good for Atlanta United 2. Second half has to be even better to close this out and get 3 points.
I know that we're also toward the end of the night, we always like to do 3 stars of the game. For your early competitors for 3 stars, who are you looking at?
Oh, I'm not giving you any hints. I'm not giving you any of that just yet.
Okay.
3 stars is, for me anyway, one, I mean, I'm not the hockey guy, and I'm doing the 3 stars gimmick. I'm sorry. The hockey fans will be very upset with me for stealing that.
No, they won't, sir.
No, they'll probably be mad because I'm stealing it. But it's just, I think it's a way, we always do man of the match when it comes to soccer, but you know, I feel like every time we do man of the match, there's 3, 4, 5 guys sometimes that should all be honored in that.
Exactly.
So I love the 3-star idea, and I'm not giving you any hints as of yet.
Well, then go ahead and get us squared away for the second 45. Atlanta United 2, leading Chicago Fire 2 by the score of 1-0 here in Kennesaw.
All right, let's do this. Both teams back out, looking to see if we have any substitutions. They're not always following the established protocol on displaying halftime subs in MLS Next Pro. It can be a little confusing at times. Jon Nelson will try to put some eyes on it and see if we have anybody different out there. The fourth official is working on some paperwork over on the far side, so there could be. But I'm not seeing anything yet. Not seeing anything on the Atlanta side at all. I feel good about that. Chicago, we are checking, and Richard Fleming the third is in at right back. I believe that is for Justin Reynolds. Yes, it is. Reynolds didn't move over to the other side. Let's kick it for 45 from Kennesaw. Chicago Fire 2 in the all-white. Moving from left to right on your radio dial. Atlanta United 2 in the all-black. Red trim, gold print. Luca Perpa. Dispossessed by Nicholas Firmino. Wanted the foul, didn't get it. Centeno plays it down the left side to Firmino. Firmino further down the left side. Centeno up against the end line. Cross deflected, cleared by Leonard. We also have a goalkeeper change for Chicago. Didn't see that one coming. We'll get that in just a second as Atlanta's got a throw in the attacking third. Aiden McFadden. McFadden knocked away from him, but it's going to be another throw in the attacking third. Mihaljo Miskovic is the goalkeeper now for Chicago. First appearance of the season for Miskovic. McFadden will take the throw. Thrown in. Lopez battling for it. Can't find it. Fleming passes forward. It's picked off. Lopez fighting for it in the 18. Miskovic with the clearance. Laid off by Hensey. Now played long down the left side. Ostrom trying to turn the corner. Heavy first touch. Does not get the second one to stay inside the end line. Atlanta goal kick. So 2 subs for Chicago. Fleming and Miskovic. Goal kick played short. Cobb. Morales. McFadden. Forward for Firmino. Atlanta trying to turn the corner. They do now. McFadden up the left side. Centeno. Firmino making a run along with Lopez. Centeno stood up. No foul. Leonard comes away with it. Up the right side to Glasgow. Glasgow inside. Hensey. Knocked away from him momentarily. Still there for Chicago. Orahel. Cross blocked. Orahel over the upper 90. Goal kick Atlanta. Fortune taking a second to get back to his feet. He's up, and he's going to be okay. He's not going to have to go stand on the side for 3 minutes. Sometimes players rush getting up after a collision because they don't want to miss 3 minutes. We saw that with Johnny Vial last week, and he had a broken foot. I like the idea of the rule, but it's got to get fixed in implementation. Over the top, Firmino heads it down, trying to find the second ball. We have a third Chicago sub that happened at halftime. Harold Osorio is into the match. The Salvadoran U20 international is into the match in the midfield. Chicago out wide to the right to Fleming. I think we have all of the Chicago halftime subs now in the 49th minute. Ostrom on the left. Casas dispossessed. Lopez dribbling forward. Here comes Eric Lopez into the attacking third. Nick Firmino, top of the 18. Shot wide. Good work by Miskovic to make that difficult for Firmino. Shot wide, goal kick, Chicago. Sorry, correction, only 2 halftime subs. It's Jeffrey Gall still in goal for Chicago. Gall made the good play there. Sorry, Miskovic, you do not get credit for that. Long ball played out of the back. Morales wins the header, battle for it. Chicago comes away with it. Fleming, edge of the 18, dribbling forward, passes inside, laid back to Fleming. Pass blocked. Cobb tries to clear, blocked. Follow-up volley right at Reyes. 50th minute, first 5 minutes of the second half have been all Chicago, except for that opportunity that Firmino had. Glasgow blocks a clearing ball from Morales. Goal kick, Atlanta. And Chicago starting the second half on the front foot. Cobb picks out the long ball to Lopez off the goal kick. Here comes Eric Lopez through the center circle, down the left to Eric Centeno. Centeno, top of the 18, cutting to his right, lays it off to Firmino, curling effort high and wide. Nick Firmino looking for goal number 5 of the season. Doesn't get it. Goal kick. Played short. Here comes Chicago, now out to the right side. Fleming hits the brakes, drops it back to Perpa. Perpa chips it into the 18, Cobb heads it away. Fortune trying to find the second ball. Hensey finds it instead. Lays it off to his left. Shot wide of the far post. Opportunity there for Sergio Orejel. Went for the low shot, possibly across if somebody makes the run to the back post. That didn't happen, and the shot ends up wide. 52nd minute. Atlanta leading 1-0. Okay, we finally have the substitutions in Opta. Fleming came on for Kendall Burks. Reynolds has moved into the middle. And now we actually do have 3 subs. This is ridiculous on the substitution reporting here in MLS Next Pro. Header forward by Atlanta. We'll get it caught up here eventually before we get to the 60th minute, I hope. Back all the way to Gall. One change Chicago did not make is at goalkeeper. Fleming, Moniz, and Osorio are the 3 changes. Here comes Chicago down the left. Into the 18. Laid off. Herpa puts it over the bar. Shot over the bar. Poorly taken. It was Hensey who had gotten forward. Chicago's moved the pieces all around here to start the second half. Hensey running through the middle. Rodriguez, Casas, and Burks were your halftime subs. Chicago back on it again off of the Atlanta goal kick. Perpa on his left foot, lays it off. Right-footed shot blocked by Fortune. Out wide to the left to Orahel. Tries to find Moniz. It's blocked. Lopez can't find the second ball instead of Reynolds. Ostrom passes forward to Hensey. Back to Ostrom, tackled away from him. Here comes Atlanta down the right. Fortune gets it back from Lopez. A Johnny Fortune leading the Atlanta break. He's got Brennan to his right. He plays inside instead to Firmino. Lays it off to Centeno in the 18. Centeno step over, knocked off the ball by Fleming, no foul. Here comes Chicago trying to transition into the attacking half, and they do. Moniz, big switch from him to the right to Glasgow. Amari Glasgow settles, dribbles at goal, cutting inside, passes to Hensey, who lets it ride. Young will run it down in front of Moniz. Young up the right flank to Brennan, still in his own half. Atlanta United 2, struggling to get out. Cobb clears it into the middle third. Settled by Leonard. Perpa plays a little 1-2 with Leonard at midfield. 55th minute. Atlanta 1-0 over Chicago. Match day 5 of MLS Next Pro. Reynolds squares it back to the right to Leonard. Leonard forward to Luca Perpa. Perpa, the former Hartford Athletic man, chips this into the corner, and there's no one there. Tyler Young will take the throw. A couple yards up from the corner flag. Thrown in up the line. Brennan heads it forward. It gets through to Firmino. Firmino tries to hit the cutback through ball to Lopez. Lopez gets a touch, but Gall's going to be able to run this down and give away the throw. Firmino and Lopez nearly combined that time. Brennan back to Firmino. Firmino has Brennan out wide, gives it to him. Back to Young, back to Cobb at midfield. Across to Morales. 56th minute. Morales with the long diagonal to Luke Brennan. Flag goes up. Brennan's looking across the back line that time. Can't get caught offside there. I think he might have been a little bit of a decoy because he was a little frustrated that the ball was played to him. It's something that teams will do, and Atlanta does it a lot, where somebody will be offside just to try to unbalance the back line with no intention of the first ball being played to them, then making a follow-up run when they are onside. That time it was played to the offside man in Brennan. Young heads forward after a long ball from Gall. Chicago throw, 10 yards inside their own half. Tumasi knocks it down to Brennan. Atlanta throw near midfield. Probably going to see some subs from Atlanta United 2 around the 60th minute. Trying to manage the minutes of some of the guys who might be needed on the bench tomorrow in Major League Soccer action. Chicago regains possession. Leonard passes inside. Osorio. It's out wide to the right to Fleming. Laid back to Glasgow. Perpa spins to his left. Osorio passes forward. Moniz. Moniz, corner of the 18. Back to Orahel. Orahel. Hensey. Osorio left-footed shot save. Reyes. Good hard, low left-footed shot from Osorio. Harold Osorio, the 19-year-old, developed at Alianza, as Morales is fouled by Glasgow, trying to dribble out of his own 18. Free kick, Reyes. Centeno and Brennan are switching sides. Brennan to the left, Centeno to the right. free kick. Played a little long for Morales. He runs it down. Leonard runs through Brennan. The referee has swallowed the whistle in the second half. Fortune passes forward to Lopez. Lopez turns, attacks, lays it off to Firmino. Firmino, 30 yards from goal. Inside to Lopez, back to Firmino. Across to Centeno in the 18. Cross to the back post. Shot is wide. Well worked from Atlanta United 2. But they couldn't find Lopez at the end of that on the back post. Goal kick. Chicago. Reynolds carrying it forward. Ostrom. Hensey tries to give it to Moniz. He falls down. Here comes Atlanta. Firmino bodied off of that by Hensey. Subs coming for Atlanta United 2 at the next opportunity. They're going to get instructions first. Chicago down the right side with Glasgow. He stood up by McFadden. Fleming. Inside to Leonard. Now across to Reynolds. Reynolds chips this down the left side to Ostrom. Well worked by Reynolds. Here comes Chicago in the attacking half. Luca Perpa. Perpa. Out wide to the left. Moniz. Back to Perpa. Inside. Laid off. Luca Perpa. Saved by Reyes. Still there in the 18. Young's got a dribble out of trouble. Young does dribble out of trouble and draws a foul. That needs to be a yellow card. That's a transition foul. And the player who committed the foul goes down. I believe that's Moniz. He's back up to his feet. Looks like he's going to avoid the yellow. He might have gotten a slight talking to. Game is being called completely differently in the second half from the first. 25 fouls in the first half, and it's very hard to get a foul called here in the second. Lopez controls the free kick, brings it down, turns to his right. He's wrestled to the ground, and there's no foul. Here comes Chicago down the left. Back to Reynolds. Luca Perpa in the center circle. Finds Glasgow. Glasgow hits the brakes. Plays Fleming out to the right side into the attacking third. Fleming pulls it back for Glasgow. Glasgow dribbles down the right, takes it to the end line, hits the brakes. McFadden takes it off of his boots. McFadden's clearance back to Leonard. Pressure from Firmino. Osorio now for Chicago. His pass forward does not connect. Young gives it back to Vicente Reyes. 61st minute, 1-0 Atlanta. Reyes' clearance finds Lopez. Lopez turns. Firmino lays it off to Lopez. Lopez dribbling across to his left. Eric Lopez, 30 yards from goal. Lopez, more to the right. Lopez! Big save by Jeffrey Gall. Lopez just kept holding on and let defenders slide away from him. Hit a beautiful right-footed shot that Gall got fingertips to push wide. Corner Atlanta, 62nd minute. Noah Cobb's night is done. Johnny Fortune's night is done. Those are both two guys needed for first-team reserve action tomorrow. Tony Tiente checks in for Fortune. Alan Carlton checks in as well. We'll see how the back line gets reshaped. My guess is Tuamasi will pair with Efrain Morales at center back. Could be Tiente at center back. Corner, Centeno, back post, headed away from Morales, and that's a foul. Foul on Morales. Got the arm out. Leonard with the strong defensive play. The 27-year-old veteran from Illinois. Big switch by Chicago off the free kick. Fleming. Brendan forces him to cut back. Now Luca Perpa on the right side. Has Glasgow in front of him. Luca Perpa on the dribble. Brennan there to shadow him. Cuts back. Fleming. Back into his own half. Leonard. Across to the left. Reynolds. Reynolds carries it into the attacking half. Up the left side to Ostrom. Has Moniz in front. Ostrom dribbling inside. Pass blocked by Centeno. Centeno slides. Moniz goes down. And that's a yellow card to Eric Centeno. 63rd minute yellow to Centeno. We'll see how quick Moniz gets up here, or he's going to have to be off the field for 3 minutes. It doesn't look like he's going to get up quickly. Teammates trying to help him up quickly. Are they running a clock on this? Because players are supposed to get up quickly. That's the rule. He's not. Now he's up. Felt like that window was pretty wide to allow him to sit, which maybe helped get a yellow card in that situation. Game management's all over the place tonight, folks. 64th minute. Just consistency. That's all you ever want to see is consistency. It's a free kick for Chicago, 40 yards from goal. Driven into the 18, flicked on, caught by Reyes. Good second half for Chicago. They have not found a goal as of yet. Alan Carlton drops it back to Twumasi. He is on the back line. Morales across to McFadden, inside to Tiente. Tiente spinning back to his right. He's in trouble. He has Carlton at the corner of his own 18. Carlton forward to McFadden. Lays it back to Carlton. Well worked. Carlton inside. Firmino dummied that through, but nobody made the run behind him. He expected Centeno to be there. Ostrom inside to Osorio. Hounded by Firmino. Good shifty dribbling from Osorio. Shakes Firmino off. But really can't go forward. It's played back to Reynolds. Atlanta defending in a 4-4-2 shape. Carlton slides across to get a touch. Brennan dispossessed. Fleming gives it back to Orahel. Perpa forward to Hensey. Hensey turns to his right. Has Fleming down the right side. Fleming inside to Hensey. Shot deflected, cleared. Chicago still on it, 30 yards from goal. Back out to the right to Fleming. Left-footed cross, back post, headed away by Young. Firmino can't get there in front of Reynolds. Tiente swings it over to the left side to Lopez. Eric Lopez hits the brakes, has reinforcements coming. Dribbles inside and gives it all the way across to Firmino. Firmino drives forward, has Centeno out to the right, plays him into the attacking third. Centeno into the 18. Cross, back post. Lopez headed down, caught by Gall. Here comes Chicago quickly down the left. 66th minute. 1-0 Atlanta. Moniz dropped back to Ostrom. And now Osorio. Forward. Hensey gives it back, looking for Orahel. Picked off by Brennan. Luke Brennan on the break. Has Lopez to his left. Gives it to him. Eric Lopez, top of the 18. Curler blocked by Leonard. Atlanta corner. Lopez just trying that hesitation to take a step to the right and hammer it. Leonard blocks it. Referee giving a warning about time wasting now. Lopez will take the corner from the near side. 67th minute. Eric Lopez in swinger, back post caught by Gall. Morales was making a run. Gall throws it to his right. Fleming getting forward for Chicago. Fleming, long ball. McFadden's got a long run. Reyes has to clear. Glasgow was there. McFadden did enough to keep Glasgow from it. Throw Chicago 40 yards from goal, out on the right. Fleming throws it inside to Osorio. Forward to Orahel. Out wide to the left to Moniz. Underlapping run from Ostrom. Sliding challenge from Centeno, wins it. Young passes forward to Firmino. Atlanta still in their own half, but well defended there by Centeno and Young. Laid off to Young. Here comes Tyler Young down the right into the attacking half. Pass inside for Lopez. Doesn't connect. Leonard clears. Atlanta throw at midfield. Chicago 2-0-2 on the year. Atlanta 1-2-1, looking for win number 2 tonight. They have the 1-0 lead on the Nick Firmino goal. Chicago making a substitution, or a Hell's Night is done.
Chicago Fire 2 substitution in the 69th
Mateo
minute.
Kidd checking into the match.
Number 35, Sergio
Fourth
Ortega.
appearance of the year for Kidd, the 25-year-old from St. Louis. 1 goal on the year. Thrown into Lopez. Lopez boxed in by 4, knocked off the ball. No foul. Chicago back to Fleming. Across to the left to Reynolds. A little loose on the pass there. Ostrom cleans it up. Back inside to Osorio. Harold Osorio up the left side to Ostrom. Chicago through the middle third into the attacking third. Down the left to Moniz. Moniz cuts back to his right. Young blocks the cross. Settled down by Kidd. Kidd spins around to his left. Young defending. Kidd takes it to the corner. Battle there. Young just standing him up. Goal kick. Great defending by Atlanta United, too. Alan Carlton there to make the play. Centeno, Young, and Carlton all there to make the defensive play for Atlanta United, too. Goal kick, Morales to Reyes. Long down the middle from Vicente Reyes. Second ball headed into the arm of Firmino. No foul. Chicago in possession. Into the attacking half. Up the left side. Kidd. Tomasi clears it off of him. Throw in Atlanta deep in their defensive third on the right. Match is all over the place now in the 71st minute. Atlanta throw up the right side. Over the head of Firmino. Chicago settles. Reynolds. Ostrom. Osorio. Forward to Moniz. He turns, has nowhere to go. Ostrom. Luca Perpa. Back in the middle third, Leonard. Leonard dribbling forward. Atlanta dropping deeper. Fleming on the right. Fleming, room to cross, puts it in, flicked on by Leonard. Follow-up shot, popped straight over the end line. Goal kick, but Atlanta can't drop that deep. Fleming was able to pick out the run from the center back, Leonard. Atlanta goal kick. Morales gets it back from Reyes. Blocked. Atlanta throw 30 yards from their own goal. Chicago now out shooting Atlanta 18-11. Back heel from Fleming to Glasgow. Glasgow takes it to the outside of McFadden. McFadden knocks it out for an Atlanta throw off of Glasgow. That's excellent 1v1 defending from Aiden McFadden. Chicago disagreed. Glasgow really didn't put up much of an argument there. 72nd minute. Fleming heads it forward. McFadden out jumps Glasgow. Osorio settles. Passes forward, not controlled. Brennan needs help. He's double teamed. He's pushed down at the end of the play from Glasgow. Oh, and finally a yellow card. Glasgow gets the yellow.
Chicago Fire 2 yellow card in the 72nd minute, number 55, Omari Glasgow.
That's the fourth foul of the night for Glasgow. He gets his yellow. Atlanta free kick, 73rd minute. Played down the left side, headed away by Fleming. McFadden will take his time. Crafty. Still looking for an option. Thrown into Brennan. Given back to Aiden McFadden. Dribbles forward. Lopez tries to give it back to him. Eventually it works out. Pass back for Tiente doesn't connect, but Lopez finds a giveaway. Down the right side for Centeno, but Gall gets there first. Gall throws it out to the left side. Moniz tries to turn. Tiente breaks that up. Tiente runs this down. Tony Tiente. Good play through the midfield. Reyes gives it away straight down the middle. Here comes Chicago. Long range shot wide of the far post. Osorio went for that from 25 out. Reyes had it covered, I think. The giveaway from Reyes is about 45, 50 yards from goal. It's back in the middle, third down the middle. But Osorio, couple touches, he's in shooting range. He did not hesitate. Reyes. Won by Ostrom with his head. Tiente finds the second ball. Here comes Atlanta. Lopez into the attacking third on the left. Eric Lopez, corner of the 18. Lopez wants to go left. Leonard stands him up. Lopez finds it again up against the end line. Lopez can't get by Leonard. Good defending from Leonard. Here comes Chicago into the middle third. Hensey. Moniz down the left. Young defending. Moniz cuts inside. Gets the pass all the way across to Fleming. Fleming, early cross, back post. Tomasi went up for it, but the last touch is off of Hensey. Atlanta goal kick. Reyes walking back into the 6-yard box. Referee blows the whistle to make a point. He is warned. Reyes is on yellow card watch. 76th minute. I guess Glasgow had something to say about it. Nope, he's going to get subbed.
Exiting the match, number 55, Omari
Glasgow's night is done.
Number 58, Michael Nessie.
Michael Nessie is into the match. Glasgow's night done. Reyes. Goal kick to the left. Morales spins back to his right. Passes forward to Lopez. Still in his own half. Lopez back to his defensive third. McFadden in trouble. Fleming defending. Inside to Tiente. Tiente getting whacked by 2 Chicago players. Fouled. Free kick. Nessie wasted no time committing a foul. He joins the Chicago fouling party. Free kick Atlanta, 77th minute. Free kick played back to Reyes in his own 18. Big diagonal looking for Centeno. Ostrom heads it forward. Young throws in. Firmino battling for it. And Firmino gets a yellow. Foul on Firmino for checking back to the ball. Maybe the left arm swung. Chicago player down. Now, a yellow card was issued there, so I'm assuming this is outside of the laying on the ground and then having to go sit out for 3 minutes rule. I do like the rule. I want to make that clear. I like the idea of the rule. I don't like how it's implemented every time. Firmino gets the yellow. Little bit of argument, but honestly not that much. So that left arm might have swung. Chicago player sitting up now. But it is an opportunity for a hydration break for both teams, and they're going to take full advantage. First half fouls, 14-11 in favor of Chicago committing them. Second half, 3-3. Yep. We've seen lots of waves of how the game has been called. It's when one team commits a lot of fouls, oftentimes the team that's getting fouled ends up getting the game called tighter against them. Watch that happen and play out many, many times. Then we're in the second wave of possibilities. Now, when a lot of fouls have been called in one half, in the second half, not many are called. The game's been played the same way. Nothing's changed from either team. I believe it was Osorio who was fouled by Firmino. It's going to be a Chicago free kick. All this time will be added back on. 79th minute. Firmino on a yellow now. Chicago with a free kick 10 yards inside their attacking half. Atlanta setting the line defensively at the top of the 18. Chicago sending almost everybody forward. Play to the top of the 18. Headed out wide to the right. Leonard settles. Turns to his right. Leonard's cross. Reyes goes up and catches it in traffic. Vicente Reyes. Good night in goal for him. Still work to do in the 80th minute now. Aiden McFadden dribbles forward, passes back to Tiente. Tiente to Firmino. It's knocked away from him. Atlanta throw on the left, middle third. McFadden will take it. McFadden doesn't have any options, really. Finds Firmino. Flicked forward. Chicago comes away with it. Kidd. Drops it back. All the way back to Gall. Chicago just gives it away on their left. Atlanta throw. Young will take it. Into the 81st minute. The subs and the warnings and stoppages, the game's gotten really disjointed. Tiente gets it back. Here's Brennan, top of the 18, lays it into Tiente's run. Gall gets there first. Brave from Gall. Jeffrey Gall, the 30-year-old Chicago native, veteran from the Swedish leagues. First year on the first team roster with Chicago, but he's played mostly with their second team, his fourth game tonight. Leonard, long diagonal out to the left. Kidd settles it. Ostrom back to Osorio, now down the left side. Kidd making the run. Tumasi slams it off of him. Throw in Atlanta. Young stepped forward too far, asked to move back. Clock continues to run. Firmino tries to flick it forward, doesn't come off. Here comes Chicago, back on it. Squared to the right to Fleming. Fleming pulls it back. Looks for the 1-2. It's given back to Perpa instead. Left-footed chip into the 18, headed down by Young. Centeno dribbling out. Out wide to the right to Lopez. His pass is blocked by Reynolds. Atlanta throw in front of the Chicago bench. 82nd minute. 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Still holding on to that early goal from Nick Firmino. Throw in up the line, not on the same page. Centeno fights to win it back. That's great work from Eric Centeno defensively. McFadden, Brennan, middle third, left side. Given back to McFadden. McFadden drops it back further to Morales. Up the flank to Firmino. His pass blocked, but it finds Lennon. Lennon's able to turn past Leonard. Here comes Luke Brennan. 3v2 Atlanta United 2. Brennan shot. Gall gets a touch. Corner. Swing of the right hand from Jeffrey Gall, and it came up aces. Luke Brennan almost fooled him. It's a brilliant turn from Luke Brennan. Pass was deflected, and it came right up the flank. Brennan, with just a little hesitation, got past Leonard, had options to his right. I think he got Gall leaning, but Gall swung the right hand out to make the save. Good save from Gall. Corner, in-swinger, back post, looking for Morales. It's over everybody. Comes off of a Chicago player, though, on the backside, so that will be an Atlanta corner on the other side. 84th minute. 1-0 Atlanta. Eric Lopez will go across to take it. This also runs a little more of that clock. Young teams have to learn how to close these games out. We had this conversation in Toronto last week. Atlanta United couldn't close that one out. Drop points on the road. These are even more valuable. This is at home. Lopez, corner, back post, headed down by Firmino. Goal! 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 Nick Firmino! 5th goal of the year for Nick Firmino. The man cannot be stopped right now for Atlanta United 2. Coming up clutch. That's the better way to close it out. Go get a second goal instead. Lopez with the corner, Firmino with the header. 2-0 Atlanta United 2. Chicago kicks off. Leonard. Osorio. Fleming. Chicago's got to take risks now. Perpa. Flicked back. Centeno there to get a touch. Still Chicago down the left. Tuamasi comes across. Corner. He got a touch. Moniz tried to dribble in. Chicago sending everybody forward in the 86th minute. 2-0 Atlanta. Corner to defend. Reynolds hangs back for Chicago. Everyone else is in the 18. Corner of the 18, headed away. None other than Firmino with that header defensively. Switch, cut out by Tiente. Atlanta wants to get off to the races. Eric Lopez leading the break down the left. Lopez cuts inside to the right. Dribbles through a tackle of Osorio. No foul called there. Lopez was held, it looked like. No foul. Played forward to Perpa. Moniz wants to turn to the outside. Tyler Young says, nah. Inside to Carlton. Back to Tuamasi. Tyler Young stood up Alex Moniz. Tiente in the middle third. Back to Tuamasi. 87th minute now. Out wide to Young. Young dribbles inside of Moniz. Pass forward. Firmino. Shielding off Reynolds. Reynolds commits the foul. That's great work from Nick Firmino once again. Tuamasi will take the free kick. Cuts it to the left to Morales. Efrain Morales up the left side to McFadden at midfield. McFadden slows things down, dribbles back, passes back to Vicente Reyes. Reyes, long ball down the right side. That's going to get all the way through, though. Gall will grab it. Intended for Centeno. Chicago able to find Kidd in the attacking half. He lays it off. Good track back by Tyler Young to recover possession once again. Reyes to Morales. He's able to dribble out of the trouble. McFadden back to Efrain. Efrain dribbles through the trouble once again. Dribbles through the arm tackle. Morales then gives it away. It's great work from Efrain. He might be cramping up. He's stretching. He doesn't go down, but he is stretching. Atlanta going to make a sub as well. Chicago throw. Fleming will take it 10 yards in the attacking half. Centeno's night is done. David Mejia will be checking in for him. Atlanta wants to get another sub in here, but I think they're going to wait. Nelson Orji will be coming in. That's going to be at the last opportunity for Atlanta United 2. Eric Centeno gets hugs from the technical staff. Steve Cook, Jose Silva, very pleased with the complete performance from Eric Centeno tonight. Thrown into the middle, Luca Perpa. Osorio. Out wide to the left to Ostrom. Cross behind Morales, but he's able to lunge back, knock it over for a corner. Good recovery from Morales. It's a big test for Efrain to close this game out. He had a good performance last week against Orlando. He's having a better one tonight against Chicago. In swinging corner, near side, 89th minute, crossing into the 90th. Top of the 6, Reyes punches it out to the top of the 18. Morales heads it further away. Here comes Eric Lopez. Jailbreak Atlanta United 2. Nick Firmino dribbling forward. Firmino, top of the 18. Couldn't cut that back to find the space. Brennan finds the second ball. Dribbles past Hensey. Takes it down the line. Brennan to the corner of the 18. Cross looking for Firmino. Finds Carlton. Carlton tries to get Firmino set up for the hat trick. Cleared. Tuamasi in the center circle. Young. Lopez. Corner of the 18. Pulls it back to his left. Eric Lopez. Firmino. Back heel looking for Lopez. Cleared. Carlton slides in to regain possession. Atlanta United 2. Firmino. Lopez. Across to Firmino. Top of the 18. Firmino trying to juggle forward. Plays it out to the right to Mejia. Mejia right-footed cross caught by Gall. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Atlanta United 2 frustrated with themselves last week in not getting the clean sheet. They've got 4 minutes to do it here. Tiente. Carlton on the right. Young. Young pulls it back away from Moniz. Clears it up the right side. Mejia keeps possession for Atlanta. Inside to Lopez. Back out wide to David Mejia. Mejia cross. Lopez shot wide. Gall pressured it. Lopez pushed it wide to the far post. Lopez stays down. Now back to his feet. Have to remember the MLS Next Pro rules. Can't waste time by staying down. Lopez is like, man, been running a lot tonight. Give me a second here. Hands on hips, but Lopez is back to his feet. Goal kick, Chicago. Gall. Straight down the middle, flicked forward. Leonard's becoming an extra forward for Chicago. Morales clears. Mejia dumped to the ground. Here comes Firmino. Late onside run. Gall has to come out to clear. Reynolds inside his own half. Perpa at midfield. Big switch to the right. Hensey doesn't get there. McFadden heads it away. Hensey loses out to Tiente. Tiente. Firmino. Attacking half. Now great ball from Nick Firmino. Flag is up. Lopez offside. Very close. Atlanta preparing a substitution on the far side. Chicago plays the free kick forward. Passed inside, sliding challenge from Tiente. Regains possession, Atlanta United 2. Firmino turns through the center circle, spins to his left. Lopez back onside now. Pass over hit. And here's Chicago back on it. Dribbling through the middle, Chicago trying to cut the lead in half, running out of time. Hensey chips to the back post, played inside. Tuamasi clears. Atlanta substitution. This is a big one, folks. Eric Lopez's night is done, and Atlanta United 2 bringing their youngest player ever to play in an official match. Cooper Sanchez just turned 15 years old. Cooper Sanchez making his pro debut. He's got some work to do to clear this game out and keep it a clean sheet. Tumasi gives away the corner. Good play from him to step in front of the long throw. Sanchez in the 18 to defend. Chicago corner, in-swinger from the far side. Played to the back post. Header, won by McFadden. Here comes Cooper, down the left. Cooper Sanchez leading the break for Atlanta United 2. Sanchez cuts inside to his right, lays it back down into the corner to McFadden. Great decision. McFadden, last touch off of him. It's going to be a Chicago throw. Love the game awareness from Sanchez there. Chicago with the throw in. Perpa cuts it back. Up the right side to Fleming. Sanchez defending. Fleming, big switch, headed down by Young. Osorio in the center circle for Chicago. Not much time left now. Ostrom. Through ball attempt. Tuamasi comes across and wins it. Kofi Tuamasi shuts the door. Clean sheet, Atlanta United 2. 2-0 win. Nick Firmino is your hero of the night. 2 goals for the Brazilian, and Atlanta 2-2-1 on the year. Back-to-back wins, and this time they get the clean sheet. Great performance from the twos. Lots of history in this one all across the board. Cooper Sanchez with the debut, Firmino with the brace, Brennan with an assist, Lopez with an assist. Jon Nelson will talk you through all of it in the postgame show. 2-0 Atlanta United 2.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here in Kennesaw. Big night for Atlanta United 2-0 winners over Chicago Fire FC 2. So the action at the fraction. Firmino gets goal number 4, goal number 5 on the year. Gets his first goal of the night in the 10th minute. The assist to Luke Brennan. Gets the brace in the 84th off the corner from Eric Lopez. 3 stars of the night. Post-game show brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente, by the way. Kaiser Permanente thrive Third star of the night was Eric Lopez. Second star of the night, Kofi Tomasi, continuing his great work at the back line. And obviously the number one star tonight is Nicholas Firmino. Honorable mention, Luke Brennan. Honorable mention, Tyler Young. Honorable mention, Cooper Sanchez for his debut. Basically, it was a night where it was difficult to pick the 3 stars, but those are the 3 that we have. A lot of folks got a lot of stars tonight for Atlanta United 2 in their 2-0 win over Chicago Fire 2. Looking at your numbers, XG 194 to 172 in favor of Atlanta United. Shots on the night, Chicago Fire FC 2, 21 to 14. 7 of them on target, however. 6 of the 14 shots for Atlanta United 2 were on target. Inside the box, 11 to 10 on shots for Chicago Fire 2. Big chances, 5 for Atlanta United 2, especially there in the last 15 to 20 minutes when the game opened up after they were chasing the second goal, then got the second goal. Final third entries on the night, Chicago Fire had 58 compared to 36 for Atlanta United 2. 3 offsides of the night went to Atlanta United 2 possession. 56-44 in favor of Chicago Fire 2, but as we always say, it's what you do with the ball when you have it possession as opposed to how much time you have it in possession. Passing accuracy on the night, 82% for the Fire, 77% for Atlanta United 2. Working our way down some of the other numbers. Total crosses for Chicago, 24 to 16. Corners 1, 9 to 5 for Atlanta United 2. Tackles on the night, 20 to 14 for Chicago Fire FC 2. Tackles 1 of those 20, 14, so it was a clip of 60%. Tackles 1 for Atlanta United 2. 10 of the 14, so 73% of the tackles won by Atlanta United 2. Interception, Chicago Fire 2 had 14 compared to 13, 19 fouls to 15, and remember that it was 14-11 at the half. So you had 25 fouls called in the first half. You had 9 called in the second half. 3 yellows to 2 for Atlanta United 2 on the night. You mentioned individual statistics. Nick Firmino had a lot of numbers. He had 6 shots, 3 on target. 5 of those shots inside the box. He had 6 touches inside the box as well, inside the 18 for Atlanta United 2. Firmino was on the night 30 to 37, 81% on 61 touches. Eric Centeno, 15 of 16 passing on the night at 94%. Efren Morales at the back, 43 of 54 on 68 touches and 80%. Noah Cobb had 74%. Tyler Young, 31 of 36 passing on the night, and that's an 86% clip there. And passing accuracy in the final third for Tyler Young, 3 for 3. Noah Cobb, 2 for 2. A lot of folks registering in the 80s tonight when it came to passes and pass completion. Once again, great to see Cooper Sanchez out there. Big night for him as well as we work forward. Tyler Young on the night, won 8 duels on the night, 4 of them won in the air. Had 4 duels in the air, won 3 of those 4 that were in the air. 1 possession 11 times on the night. Kofi Tomasi 1 possession 7 times as well. Firmino 1 possession 7 times. A lot of numbers and a lot of positives from a lot of different guys for Atlanta United 2 here in the win over Chicago Fire 2. That lays out your standings with this particular match in the division. Nothing like having things load on you incredibly slowly, so when they load, we'll let you know what the numbers are. Central Division now has Orlando City B at 9 points with their 4 matches. Crew 2 with 8 points in their 3. Atlanta United 2 and Chicago Fire have now played 5 matches, setting the marker here in match day 5. 7 points for Atlanta United 2, having won 2 on the spin. Fire 2 with 6 points. FC Cincinnati, 1s across the board. Remember, they've only played 3 matches at 4 points. Hunt City at 4 points. Inter Miami 2 at 3 points in their first 4 matches. We mentioned the big schedule tomorrow in MLS Next Pro, considering this was the only match of the night when it came to the league. 2 matches last night, the 1 match tonight, and a lot of matches tomorrow. 2 o'clock on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass, Crown Legacy FC hosting Crew 2 at Matthews. 2 o'clock also Philadelphia Union 2 at Subaru Park, going up against Toronto FC2 on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. As those two teams played in Major League Soccer tonight, they're playing. We'll have an update coming up in just a little bit. 6 o'clock on MLSNextPro.com, Colorado Rapids 2 and St. Louis City 2 at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. 7 o'clock on MLSNextPro.com, FC Cincinnati 2 hosting Sporting Kansas City 2 at Northern Kentucky University. 7 o'clock on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass, Inter Miami 2 hosting Hunt City at DRVPNK. 7 o'clock MLSNextPro.com, Orlando City B tries to rebound from the loss here in Atlanta, taking on NYCFC 2 at Osceola Heritage Park. Starting out west with your matches at 7:30, Houston Dynamo 2 on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass hosting Tacoma Defiance at SaberCat Stadium. Los Dos at 8 o'clock hosting Austin FC 2 at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. That one is also on MLS Season Pass. T2, Portland Timbers 2 hosting LAFC 2 at Providence Park at 8 o'clock. And on MLSNextPro.com, the late game at 10 o'clock Eastern at Swangard. It is Whitecaps FC 2 hosting Minnesota United FC 2. Remember what happened last time that Whitecaps were on the pitch. It was a 7-goal thriller with LAFC 2. So what happens for the encore? That's at 10 o'clock tomorrow night in MLS Next Pro. Scores in Major League Soccer from the evening. 90+4 right now. Charlotte leading Columbus by that 1-goal margin that they have had the entire time. They are this close to hanging on and getting full points against Crew 2. Once again, remember, they are at 90+4 as we keep an eye on that match. Some of the matches are going final. We'll let you know what those scores are as we go here. So Charlotte trying to hang on with the Świderski goal that happened in the 37th minute. They're at 90+5, currently leading Columbus by the score of 1-0. Other finals on the board, Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati knocked off Portland by the score of 2-1 at TQL. Santos with a goal in the 34th. Dyron Asprilla had a goal for Portland. Brandon Vasquez had a goal in the 58th for Cincinnati. Had a 2-0 lead. Asprilla scored 2 minutes later, but that was all Portland could do. So the Timbers take it on the chin at TQL by the final score of 2-1. We mentioned Montreal. Worst in the East coming in. So, of course, tonight at Stade Saputo, they get a win. Own goal in the 25th gave them a 1-0 lead, and they were down a man. And Matthew Choinière scored at 90+2 to salt it away. You end up with an Iliadis red with 25 to go. 90+2, 10-man CF Montreal gets another goal, beating Red Bulls by the score of 2-0. Big win for Montreal tonight at home. New England hangs on. They knock off Sporting Kansas City at Gillette by the final score of 2-1. You had Vrioni with the double within 4 minutes to give him a 2-0 lead at the break. Johnny Russell scored in the 50th to cut the margin to 1. Keep an eye on Andrea Fontas. Fontas had a red card in the 61st, so he will not be available for Sporting next week. NYCFC beats FC Dallas in the Bronx by the final of 3-1. In that one, Santi Rodriguez, 2 goals within 6 minutes. It was 1-0 at the break. He scores in the 50th to make it 2-0. Talis Magno scores in the 55th for the 3rd goal on the board, but Martinez scores in the 77th with 13 to go. NYCFC beating FC Dallas by the score of 3-1. Mentioning that 3-1 score, DC United goes to Orlando and does the same thing. Fontas scores in the 15th to make it 1-0. McGuire scores in the 23rd to even it up. That's the score at the break. Donovan Pine scores in the 52nd. Christian Benteke scores 10 minutes later. Big win for DC on the road, winning 3-1 over Orlando City at Exploria Stadium. Time running out in Philadelphia, Chester, Pennsylvania, 90+3 right now as we talk. If the game goes final, we'll let you know. Philadelphia had a big lead on Toronto, and right now that one is on MLS Season Pass. Philadelphia leading 4-2 at 90+4. Lucas McNaughton had a rough night. He was subbed out at the half, gave up an own goal, credited with the own goal in the 16th. Michael Ua had a hat trick, 20th, 43rd, and 56th. So it was 3-0 at the break, 4-0 before Lorenzo Insigne scored at the 66th. Richie Larea scores at 90+2. Toronto trying to do a bit of a mad dash, and it does not happen. Time runs out in Chester. Philadelphia wins it by the score of 4-2. At the break, Houston and Inter Miami are goalless at Shell Energy. Also at the break, Nashville is leading LAFC at Geodis by the score of 1-0. Hani Mukhtar, the only goal on the board, scores in the 35th. That one is on MLS Season Pass and Apple TV. Underway and just underway on the free side of Apple TV. It is Colorado hosting St. Louis City SC at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, and RSL at the Riot hosting San Jose Earthquakes at America First Field in Utah. Coming up at 10:39, your two other matches. LA Galaxy hosting Austin FC. That one is on Apple TV and MLS Season Pass. And at 10:39, it is Seattle hosting Minnesota. That one is on Apple TV on the free side. Reminder, tomorrow it is Atlanta United and Chicago Fire. It's the parent clubs going at it. It is a 4:55 kick. Remember, as much as you see 4:30 and as much as in the current environment involving Apple, it is a 9 minutes after kick. On game days where you have the secondary carrier, like an FS1, it will be at 4:55. 4:55 is going to be the kick for Atlanta United and Chicago Fire on the free side of Apple TV and FS1. Victor Rivas is your referee for the match against Chicago Fire. Kevin Stott is going to be your VAR in that matchup. So can Atlanta get the double? That's what you're staring at with Atlanta United and Chicago Fire coming up 4:30 on FS1, 4:55 kick for the Super Hyper Mega postgame show, or pregame show with Atlanta United Chicago Fire. And we'll be talking about that on the SDH Network all Monday and all week long as Atlanta continues their homestand. Can they complete the double that Atlanta United 2 got tonight with a 2-0 win over Chicago Fire 2? 2 goals from Nick Firmino, 4 and 5 on the season. Full points for the Twos. Once again, thanks to all of you guys for helping us out here on the SDH Network and being a part of everything here with Atlanta United 2 and MLS Next Pro. We'll be back at it again next week. Atlanta United 2, Philadelphia Union 2. 6 o'clock kick on April the 30th. Jarrett Smith will be here for your pre-half and post-game show, and we'll do it again here for the last home match in this big homestand to start the season for Atlanta United 2. 5 of the first 6 here in Kennesaw. So victorious night from the Fraction, and final score once again, Atlanta United 2, Chicago Fire FC 2-0 for everybody here in Kennesaw. Play it safe, everybody. Mucha plata, y'all. We'll catch up with you on the SDH Network real soon.